Hello, it's me, Quintainment. I want to briefly take a look at the information that was put out regarding the spin out, as well as the Finra FAQ. I believe that the MMTLP community deserves to know exactly what was said, how it was said, and why it's important. So we're gonna start here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and read the highlighted text so that there is clarity, and I am going to go over why this particular statement is important. So let's start. Tell you what. Let's start at the top where it says street name or beneficial stockholders. Let's start there, and then we'll dive deeper into the highlighted text. Okay, here we go. Most Meta stockholders own their shares of Series A preferred stock beneficially through a bank, broker, or other nominee. In these cases, the bank, broker, or other nominee holds the shares in street name and records such ownership on its books. If a holder owns shares of the Series A preferred stock through a bank, broker, or other nominee, the bank, broker, or other nominee will credit the holder's account with the whole shares of NextBridge common stock received in the distribution on or shortly after the distribution date. However, shares of NextBridge common stock will not be eligible for electronic trading through DTC or any other established clearing corporation. Therefore, Meta encourages these holders to contact their bank, broker, or other nominee to instruct such bank, broker, or other nominee to transfer the shares of Series A preferred stock to Meta's transfer agent on or prior to the record date, such that each holder of Series A preferred stock is then the registered holder of the distributed shares of NextBridge common stock in book entry form in a new account with Meta's transfer agent. So the reason why the highlighted text is so important is because Meta is encouraging you to do something on or before the record date of the spinout. Now, why would this be important? You know, why can't I just keep my MMTLP shares in my broker account? I mean, that should be fine, right? I mean, the broker is responsible for these, right? They have that fiduciary duty as a broker. Um, they should be able to handle it, right? Right. But wait, take a look at the text right above, directly above the highlighted statement where it says, however, shares of NextBridge common stock will not be eligible for electronic trading through DTC or any other established clearing corporation. And then Meta encourages you to contact your broker to make sure that your shares are locked up in AST, giving the implication that if you didn't transfer your shares on or prior to the record date, you didn't get the distribution. But wait, take a look at this. This is the new Finra FAQ, the one that's updated from the one that they put out in March. Take a look at this statement here, and I'm going to start just a little bit above the blue text. It says, NextBridge stated that the shares were distributed to NextBridge's transfer agent and registrar, American Stock Transfer and Trust Company, LLC, AST, which then distributed shares either directly to any MMTLP shareholder whose shares were directly registered with AST or to shareholders, bank, broker, or nominee representatives. Why does it say that? So Finra is saying one thing, but Metamaterials is saying something different, something vastly different. I mean, it states right here that you know, because NextBridge common stock is not eligible for electronic trading through DTC or any other established clearing corporation, that they encourage anyone who holds their shares in a broker, bank, or other nominee to transfer to AST. That's a very, very, very important distinction. Very important. But why does FINRA say something else? Why is FINRA saying that it's saying that you would have got the distribution otherwise? It makes no sense. Now, let's take a look at this. This is line 18 of the new FINRA FAQ, where FINRA openly admits that the obligation for the MMTLP shares that exist for short sellers is still there. It says it right here. Further, the trading halt did not change short sellers' closeout obligations. So it's confirmed by FINRA that the obligation is still there. So they still have to deliver NextBridge shares to anyone who holds NextBridge. Now, because there's this confusion between, if you're in AST, are you a legitimate holder, or if your shares are in a broker, did you get the distribution? That confusion still exists, but it does not change the obligation that still exists with the NextBridge common stock. So what we could see next is maybe brokerages taking their own action, assuming that there's some sort of catalyst. You might see brokers take their own action on reconciling this whole situation. But, it's been a year and we have yet to see such a thing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens once the amount registered with AST reaches its maximum capacity. So we'll see. It makes things very interesting. But right here, FINRA is clearly stating that the obligation did not change. So short sellers still owe you. They still have to deliver a dividend. If you have a short position, you have shares that have been sold but not borrowed. Now, this part really gets under my skin. A great deal too, because it's gaslighting, and gaslighting is super offensive no matter who is doing it or why it's being done. But this is gaslighting from a market regulator that is meant to protect our capital markets. Now, line 15 says, was there excessive naked short selling resulting in counterfeit shares and MMTLP at the time of the corporate action? Okay, well, that information may be important to some individuals, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't. And this is why. So, excessive naked short selling at the time of the corporate action. How about excessive naked short selling throughout the entire history of Torchlight Energy Resources and MMTLP combined? Why isn't that anywhere in the FAQ? That's what's important. But No, they want to zero in on, 1 or 2 days and say, oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't what you all thought. It's not serious. And that really gets on my nerves. Okay, let's get through a little bit of line 15. So, I'm going to read this and I'm going to point out the gaslight, all right? While it is not clear what is meant by the term counterfeit shares, gaslighting, gaslighting, it has been used in social media when discussing naked short selling and FTDs in a security. A naked short sale is generally understood to mean a short sale where the seller does not borrow or arrange to borrow the securities in time to make delivery within the standard settlement period, resulting in an FTD when delivery is due. Okay, so now, I'm gonna assume that Finra is dumb and they don't know this information. I'm gonna assume that we have a inept, a unprofessional, a uneducated, and a incompetent regulator in our capital markets. I'm gonna go ahead and make that assumption. Okay. All right. So, not all counterfeiting of stock is naked shorting. All naked shorting is counterfeiting, but not all counterfeiting is naked shorting. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Finra doesn't know that. So, now, if I wanted to counterfeit stock, I wouldn't have to naked short. No, no, no. I didn't have to do that. I could go through a bank. I could go through a particular bank and create a bunch of unsponsored ADRs and sell that to the market. That can pass off as stock in a company, unsponsored ADRs. And if I wanted to do that, it wouldn't appear as naked shorting. It wouldn't. No, no, no. It would just be counterfeiting. Counterfeiting stock. That's it. That's all it would be. There'd be no FTDs involved, none of that. It would just be me making fake stock. That's all. So, Finra doesn't know that. I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna pretend that Finra doesn't know that. If we're gonna, if we're gonna assume that they were doing their job and that they know what they're doing and that they are a legitimate regulator, okay? Finra doesn't know that. That's an issue. That's a problem. That's yet another reason why the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority should not have an SRO status. They should not have immunity. They should be heavily subpoenaed because of this, and they should be held accountable. They should, because that's information that they clearly don't know here, and if they do know it and not saying it, that's even worse. So, let's skip down. It says, this is going to be on the second paragraph. Finra has found no evidence that there was significant naked short selling in MMTLP at the end of its trading, which appears to run counter to the social media claims regarding counterfeit shares, unsponsored ADRs. The SEC did not publish FTD data for MMTLP for December 12th because transactions in MMTLP executed on the last day of its trading, December 8th, were not cleared through CNS. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. We have documents, and I'm gonna pull some of these up because I think they're important. We have documents and screenshots of brokers receiving commissions on the borrowing of stock well after the halt in January. So I don't buy this BS statement that they're putting out. I don't buy that. Um, there was still some funny business going on after the 12th. We know it. We have information for it. And there's more information that's coming out soon. I may or may not publicize it, but we'll see. There's more information coming out soon that will show that. So, with all that has been said, with all that has been done from this Finra FAQ, it's safe to say, at absolute best, if we're going to play devil's advocate for Finra, that they don't know anything. That's what I'm gonna go with. They don't know anything, and that's to their to their absolute best. That's if I'm gonna say that they're innocent 100%, and that they made a simple mistake, and that they just they're an innocent bystander and all this, and that there's nothing that they themselves should be held accountable for. No. Um, but of course we know that that's not true. We know that it runs deeper than that. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I don't want this video to go on too long. I may decide to do another in-depth look in the future related to this FAQ. If another one comes out, I will do an in-depth look on that. And hopefully we can get some answers. Hopefully we can see some more flaws in there, what they've posted. So anyway, thank you for watching. This is Quintainment, and we will make sure we will continue to get this information out and fight for justice. We've been stolen from, and justice must be served. So thank you, and have a nice night.